Hey everyone, hope you're well. So today's video we're checking out the stunning Kramer Satchel leopard print Pacer model. Absolute eye catcher of a guitar, love this guitar. So if you're a first time viewer to my channel, please do me a favour, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you'll know about all these cool videos and it's the best way of helping me grow my channel, so I'd really appreciate that. If you're a returning viewer, well, thank you for coming back. You may have seen my Kramer Knights one review recently. I'll leave a link in the description box or you'll find it on my channel. I've put all these videos in a review playlist so they're easy to scroll through, you can find all of them. As always, the links you'll need to anything else will be in the description box. There'll be timestamps as well so you can skip forward to whatever part you want to look at. So today's video, I'll do lots of playing examples of this guitar in a mix, in isolation, not just Steel Panther riffs and solos, I'm going to do all sorts for you. So let's hear this guitar and then we'll chat about the specs. So if you're watching this video, I'm sure you know all about Satchel, but for those who don't know, this guitar would have been Satchel's signature guitar when he was working with Kramer. So Satchel is the lead guitarist in the band Steel Panther. Some of you might write them off as a parody band to the 80s rock scene, but they're much more than that. Something you don't want to be joking about is the sheer level of musicianship and shreddability in Satchel's playing. In fact, the whole band are top players and they're just a lot of fun live. So I'm sure if you're watching this review, you know all about them, but I thought I'd mention that. Like I said, a lot of people write them off as a joke band, but they're probably more successful than a lot of the bands they actually parody from the 80s. I think they're 6 albums in now. I'm a big fan of their playing. Love Satchel's playing. He's got a great, strong vibrato. A lot of wicked chops. Obviously, he's very inspired by Eddie Van Halen, George Lynch, all those sort of guys from the 80s sort of shred scene. So, yeah, can't find anything bad to say about them. They're a lot of fun. But anyway, this is his signature guitar. So today we're going to be checking it out, looking at the specs. All the timestamps you need will be in the description box, or scroll along the bottom of the screen. You'll see if you want to skip into the playing examples, etc. So I like to chat a bit. But yeah, let's check out the specs first of all. Okay, the specs of this guitar. So this is a limited guitar. It's limited to 200 numbers. This particular one is number 146. They are pretty rare. They are discontinued. You can't get them anymore. So if you do find one of these coming up online on Reverb or eBay, you'll be paying pretty high prices for them now. They're very desirable. They made them in 2 different colours. The lovely leopard print in yellow here, which I absolutely love. Stunning paint job on these Kramers. And also there's a purple one, which I believe out of the two is the slightly rarer one. But they're both very hard to find, like I said. They're not made anymore, so limited to 200, and they're very sought after. So if you find one online, you'll be probably paying quite a price for them now. But yeah, so 200 built. Specs like I said, we've got a Pacer body, and it's essentially Satchel's version of a Pacer. So there's a few differences between this guitar and the Tiger Pacer. You can probably see in the background of the video there. I'll chat about that later on, but let's talk about the pickups. So we've got 2 Seymour Duncan pickups. They've got the lovely white bobbins on here, which really pop against the finish and the black rings. We've got the classic Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge. I believe it's the jazz in the neck. So slightly lower output here. Great for slightly more bluesier, rolled down tones. And then obviously full out pinch harmonics, everything you'd expect from a Satchel signature guitar on this pickup here. There's just one volume control, so that is something different to the normal Pacer. The normal Pacer would have a volume for each pickup and the tone. No tone control, no push-pull. This is just literally a shred machine, volume and pickup selector, that's all you need. We've got an original Floyd Rose here, got it in black. We've also got the Drop D Tuna, we'll chat about that later on in the video. Very cool to have that. Other than that, we've got a maple fretboard here. Jumbo frets, 22 of those, that's all you need in a guitar like this. Got the nice dot inlays. The neck is actually a 9.5 radius, which I was a little bit surprised about. Most shredded guitars have a flatter 12-inch or upwards radius, but yeah, that's one difference between this and the normal Pacer, the one I've got in the corner, which I think is a 12 or 14-inch radius. So this would have, as a player, a more Fender-like feel to the neck. Absolutely no issues at all fretting out. A lot of people normally think when you get a more vintage radius, does that mean you're going to fret out or whatnot? But I can do 2-tone bends on this thing. No issues. Let's hear it with the volume up, sorry. No issues at all. So that was one thing that might have kind of been a bit of a surprise to you if you look at the specs of these guitars. You'd expect a shredded guitar to be fully out, 12-inch radius or upwards compound radius, but Not at all. It's kind of a more traditional vintage spec, I guess, on this, like a Fender. Speaking of Fender, we've got the Fender 25.5-inch scale length, and the neck is a lovely maple. And it's actually one of the things that really attracted me to this guitar, other than the paint job, is the way the neck feels. Again, we'll get some close-ups so you can see what this looks like. I'll just switch to the other camera here so you can see. But that's a lovely hand-rubbed oil finish on the neck. So unlike the other Pacer, which is a gloss neck, this one has a beautiful satin finish, which is lovely and smooth. It's probably my favourite feature of this guitar, actually. But I'll get some close-ups of that. It's actually a very nice wood grain on the back of this guitar as well, and it just feels effortless. The profile of the neck feels very Fender-esque. I'm not sure what the specs would say online. Like I said, there's not a lot of information about these guitars online. It does feel, you know, like a medium C profile, I guess I'd say. Very comfortable, and again, the satin finish makes it effortless to play across. Apart from that, we've got a gloss finish on the headstock, and that's quite classy to keep the logo looking nice and smart against the gloss finish. Black tuners, you know, the locking nut here. You've got the little Allen key on the back to hold your Allen keys on for your, you know, locking clamps there. But yeah, another thing to mention is on the back of the guitar, cool little touch on the 4-bolt plate here. We've actually got Satchel's signature, which is pretty cool. Nice to see that. But apart from that, it is a Kramer Pacer, as you probably know it, you know, with the few tweaks I mentioned before. So that's the specs of the guitar. Let's hear it. So one of the cool features on this Floyd, which is a Floyd Rose original, is we've got the D Tuna. It's an EVH D Tuna. I'll get a close-up of this so we can see it in nice detail. And what that allows you to do is kind of effortless switching between drop D and standard. It's a pretty clever little device, and you might have seen this on a few Pacers or a few Kramer guitars, or to be fair, all brand guitars, but I've got a few of these on my Kramer guitars. So what it allows you to do is go between drop D and standard by just pushing it in. There you go. Pretty cool. So nice feature to have. That came stock on the guitar. I haven't done any modifications at all to this guitar, so what you see is what you get. This is exactly how it'll come from the factory. Like I said, they are pretty rare, but if you can get your hands on them, it's a proper rock machine. Drop D, I'm going to play you a couple of my favourite drop D riffs. So I'm going to try in this video not to only play Steel Panther, I'm going to do a few bits outside of them as well. Some classic Van Halen, we've got to do some Van Halen stuff, we've got to do a bit of Whitesnake as well, so look forward to that later on in the video. Like I said, timestamps are below, so if you want to skip to certain parts, feel free to. Enjoy. Okay, let's check out some tones between the two pickups. Now, I'm playing for a Plexi at the moment. I'm going to whack a tube screamer on later on for a bit more higher gain. So here's my bridge pickup, volume full up. Cool, and let's switch to the neck pickup, same sort of vibe. The neck is slightly lower output, it's actually a little bit lower you know, out of the pickup ring as well. I've got the bridge pickup a little bit higher, just how the guitar came. So let's check out how the volume rolls down on these pickups as well. So I believe this guitar is fitted with a treble bleed circuit. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, some of you may be, but it allows the frequencies to cut through. So basically what I mean by that is normally when you roll a pickup down, like on a Les Paul or something, it can get very muddy and you lose a lot of the high end. But on this treble bleed circuit, which is on this guitar, essentially as you roll down, it doesn't get too muddy, especially on the neck pickups where you probably want to use this feature the most. And it allows your high, your treble to bleed through, hence treble bleed. Really cool, and it allows you to just basically take your cranked up tone, if you plug straight into a Marshall or something, roll it down and get a pretty decent clean tone, to be fair. So let's just show you that. Here's my neck pickup, full volume. Let's roll it down a touch. Go right down now. So pretty convincing clean tone, to be fair, from a guitar like this. And again, that's thanks to that treble bleed circuit. So let's go back to the bridge. Let's throw a tube screamer on and get a bit more drive out of the guitar. Alright, so tube screamer on. That's what this guitar is built for. So bridge pickup is the JB by Seymour Duncan. Very common pickup. I've got this in a lot of Kramers and a lot of my guitars. It just screams. Pinch harmonics are effortless. I love the way it sounds. Alright, let's check out some neck pickup tones. Hope you enjoyed the playing examples there. So the next thing I want to chat about is how does this compare to the normal Pacer model that I've got? Let's grab it. Okay, so here we've got the normal Pacer model that Kramer make. It's the Bengal finish, classic paint job on it. And here's obviously the Satchel model that we're chatting about in today's video. So they obviously on paper look like very similar guitars, and when I'm holding them up they look very similar. The biggest difference is all about the neck and the pickup layout. Like I said, the controls on this one are much more sort of stripped down. One volume, no push-pulls, no tones. This one, volume per pickup and a tone control, and they push-pull. This is more versatile. This is more shredder-tile. Is that even a word? But you know what I mean. This is like no nonsense. You're not messing around. All up on 10 all the time, pretty much ready to go. This one, you can roll those volumes down, you can get a bit more versatility out of it. But the main difference between the two, other than the exclusivity of this one and the paint job, is the neck. So I've got them both, so I'm going to get a close-up with this. I'm going to chop out the back of the necks. So when I first got Tiger over here, it was kind of like a satin-ish finish. But over the years of me sweating over it and playing it, it has glossed up entirely. A good example, and I'll get a close-up of the headstock on this guitar, but you can see the satin finish that it would have originally been up here. Don't know if you can get it on the camera. I'll get a close-up just in case. That's how the whole of the neck felt originally, but as I said, playing it a lot, put a lot of hours on this guitar, it's now, you can probably hear it. That's my fingers like slipping against the body there, sorry, the neck there. So, which still feels lovely, don't get me wrong, but the big selling point on this one is the way this one feels. It's just so smooth. So let me put this down. It's pretty heavy. It's worth saying these are maple body guitars, or this one anyway. It's pretty heavy. Not quite Les Paul custom territory, but it's when you think shredder guitar, normally you think lightweight, skinny sort of thing, but not necessarily. This has got a good bit of heft to it. But anyway, the neck, I'm going to get a lot of close-ups. The wood grain is absolutely fabulous on this guitar. I absolutely love it. I know I sound like I'm going on about this a lot, but for me, paint job aside and pickups, you know, it's a great guitar, but the neck is just, I wish I had this neck on that guitar. In fact, all my Kramers, it's my favourite neck out of anything. Not necessarily the radius, that's not something that really bothers me too much. I know that's a lot of thing that people get turned on or off by on the spec sheets, but I'm all about playing the guitar and feeling what it feels like to play. That matters to me more than the spec list, but just the feel of the neck is just lovely. So I've had this guitar, I think, a year now, and I play it a lot, and the neck is still just as smooth as when I first got it. So again, it's this kind of hand rubbed oil finish, so it's safe from moisture and whatnot, but it's not going to start glossing up, or in the years use of playing, it hasn't changed at all one bit, unlike the Tiger over there, which pretty quickly after a month of playing it started glossing up. So that's one of the biggest differences between the two, the neck and obviously the control layout and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully that helps answer a couple of your questions if you're sort of on the fence between the two guitars. Like I said, unfortunately, this one is quite hard to come by now. Like I said, Korean-built guitar by Kramer, and because Satchel's now moved to Chauveau guitars, or quite a few years ago this is actually, they're now very hard to find. What was originally a rare, low production number anywhere of 200 is now even harder to find, because anyone who's got one, I'm not going to be getting rid of it. That's how much I love this guitar. So let's hear it a bit more. Okay, so my final thoughts. Should you buy yourself a Kramer Satchel Pacer? Absolutely. If you can find them. That's going to be your biggest issue. You know, these guitars, they're just so visually exciting. I love the paint job on this guitar. I know it's not all about the paint job. But when you're playing this style of music, 80s rock, you know, you want your guitar to look cool, don't you? You want it to stand out from the crowd. And these certainly deliver that. I love the neck, like I talked about before. That is the main thing that gets me excited on this guitar. They'll feel the neck. And the pickups are cool. I love it with the white bobbins against the paint job, as opposed to just like the black pickups that you normally get on Kramer guitars or Seymour Duncans. But, you know, that's cool. I love the simple control layout of just the one volume, you know, and whatnot. But it's not the most versatile guitar, but I think you know that. If you're getting into a guitar like this, most of the time you're going to be on 10. You'll be on the bridge pickup. It's nice you've got a neck, but if you're playing 80s stuff, you're going to be on that bridge pickup most of the time. Full volume, digging into those strings, grabbing those pinch harmonics. But yeah, the guitar is phenomenal. So hopefully you've enjoyed plenty of playing examples in today's video, and a bit of a chat, and yeah, a bit of a show and tell about this stunning guitar really. So like I said, this is number 146 out of 200. I'm very happy that I own it in my collection. I will not be getting rid of it. So no, it is not for sale at any point. Absolutely not. If you want something similar to this, your next best shot will be obviously the Tiger Pacer in the background there. I see them cropping up a lot more regularly than these ones. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. So if you've got any other further questions on this guitar, or something you want to know more about, please let me know in the comments section. Drop me a comment. If you're looking to own one of these guitars, drop us a comment. What are your experiences with the guitar? I've had absolutely zero quality control issues with this guitar. It has been spot on. Nothing to complain about. Just plugged it in and I loved it instantly. So phenomenal guitars. Like I said, I'd love to know more of your experiences if you've got one. If you want to get one, you're going to be waiting probably quite a while, and you have to pay quite a premium for them because, like I said, people aren't going to sell these very often. Once you get them in your hands, you're not going to let them go, unfortunately. But they do occasionally crop up on Reverb, so keep an eye out. I think there's one in Australia or somewhere at the moment. But yeah, absolutely love it. So any questions, let me know. And I'm hoping to make more of these style of videos. So if there's another guitar you want me to check out from Kramer, that's in my collection, then do let me know. I've obviously done another Nights one video. I'll leave a link to that in the description box. I'll put it up here if I can, but it'll be in the description box. And I'm thinking next, what's next? Actually, what's next could be my 84 Kramer D Van Halen Bumblebee guitar. That would be a cool video. So if you want to see that, let me know. I'll make it happen. But yeah, let me know what you think of the guitar. Like I said, I absolutely love it. I'll play you out with a last example, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.